Hello, Slidell. Today is Monday, May the 18th. We're here to talk a little bit about what happened this past weekend and celebrate a victory, a minor victory for the community. We were able to get restaurants open, businesses are opening up, and we're seeing commerce. People are outside enjoying, getting back to a little bit more normal way of life and a little bit more normalcy. Of course, it's going to be a new normal. The way you're spaced out in restaurants, you're not going to be able to pass the salt shaker to the next table because you're going to have to toss it to them. You're going to be a little bit further away, but at least we're back in those restaurants and those establishments where we've had so many good memories in the past with our families, with our friends, and we can go create more good memories again. I'm fortunate today to be joined by our chiefs, our fire chief, Chief Chris Coughlin, and our police chief, Chief Randy Fandle, just to talk a little bit about the first weekend of activity and commerce that we've had, and to express the genuine excitement and confidence that we have in our community in the way this has been handled, enabling us to be able to do this. So my emergency directive has been out now for 15 days, and some people are concerned that it went through the end of the month, but there's a method to the madness. This is enabling those restaurants that put up tents and put up outside dining where they don't normally do it, to be able to do it without acquiring a permit or being having to pay any additional permitting fees or anything for a special event. And we're going to continue that through the end of the month so these folks can try to make up some of that lost capacity from the inside where they're at 25% to some of the activities outside. So we're going to give them that opportunity at least for a couple more weeks and maybe beyond. But in the new order directive that's going to come out, you're going to see we're opening up the parks. We're opening up the restrooms in the parks. The gyms are going to be open for individual non-contact sports, which means we won't be able to have any organized basketball or volleyball games in there. But if you want to go in a gym to do your normal walking or the indoor lap park in Fritchie Park, Fritchie Gym, it'll be available. The pickleball leagues, the pickleball games courts will be available, and we can get back into those activities. So we're starting to open up more and more and create opportunities for folks in the community to enjoy the things that your tax dollars have paid for. So with that, I'm going to look to Chief Coughlin and let him talk a little bit about the numbers and the things that are going on in the community. I know I talked to the folks from the hospital system today, and both Slidell Memorial and North Shore Hospital, their numbers of COVID patients in the hospital, in med-surg beds and ICU beds, their total COVID patients in those two hospitals are single digits. They're under 10 in both hospitals. That's amazing, folks. We have brought these numbers down to a point where there's no longer any concerns about capacity issues in the hospital, and we have to be diligent in what we're doing to continue to keep those numbers there. I've got every confidence in the world in our community in that we will do exactly that. We're socially responsible and personally responsible in doing what's right for ourselves and for our community to assure that we're able to continue to do what we're doing. So with that, Chief Coughlin, what have you got for us today?
I'll first start by saying I want to thank everyone for helping us flatten the curve. I think our public has been compliant with our requests, and today we're living the results. As of today, we had only 5 cases. We did have 3 deaths. But I have to say, since May 15th, when we did the phase 1 opening, we have to continue what we've been doing because we want to look at 10 to 14 days forward and see those results. So the people that we're able to allow to open, I think we all wanted that to happen. I think everyone has really maximized their capacity by both using, as you said, the indoor capacity and outdoor. I drove around this weekend and saw a lot of people had business that was flowing, and it was really nice to see, Mayor. And going forward, we just need the people that are at risk, the elderly with pre-existing illnesses. We need those folks to stay home a little longer so we can see what happens over the next 21 days. That's when the governor's going to make his next decision on whether we go to phase 2. And if we continue to do what we're doing right now, I have confidence that we'll be able to go to phase 2 based on what I saw this weekend. It was really a great weekend. We had no complaints on the fire department side of any response for overcapacity.
That's great.
Or anyone that had a problem. So it was really nice to have a good weekend.
Good. Thanks, Chief.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Chief Fandle, what have you got?
I enjoyed going out to eat Friday night. I took advantage of it, went out to eat one of our local restaurants, enjoyed a good meal. I'm glad to see things are going back to as much normal as we can get. As far as going forward, I think we'll follow the CDC guidelines and keep making sure everything goes smooth. We haven't had to take any enforcement action, thank goodness. But everybody's following the guidelines, and hopefully that will make sure that it stays flat.
And Chief, if I can add, if we get the complaint, I want our public to know, as long as it's not life-threatening, the first step in that process, we're going to try to make a call. At least advise the owner or manager of the complaint to see if it can't be fixed by that phone call. If we have to come out, we will come out at the public's request or the employee's request or business owner. So just make sure that everyone understands our goal is to be successful. The last thing we want to happen is to have problems, have our public at odds with each other, and we want to get to phase 2. And I think if we continue on track and we're compliant, we have that opportunity.
I agree.
Our goal is phase 2 at this point.
Yes, it is. So with that, folks, it's, as I said when we started this video today, this is a celebration, if you will, of a minor victory that we have over this disease, over this unseen enemy that we've been fighting for 8+ weeks now, over 2 months. Opening businesses up, giving people opportunities to go back and enjoy the things that we have that make our community such a wonderful place to be. We're very fortunate to be there right now. And we have, as a team here, the utmost confidence in our community. We're not going to be a nanny state in the city of Slidell. It's just not going to happen. We're not going to go out and tell you got to wear a mask, but we are strongly encouraging you to wear a mask. Take responsibility for those around you. If they're wearing a mask, give them the courtesy of you wearing a mask so that you're not exposing each other. Continue to do the social distancing activities. Spread yourself out when you're in lines at the store. Watch whenever you're in the store or around people so that you give people the space that they desire to have when they're around other folks. With these things continuing as we have done over the past 8 weeks, we're going to have the success that you expect, and we'll be able to open everything up completely. We'll be able to go to 50% capacity in the restaurants or who knows what the capacity could be. But we're going to give you more opportunities to enjoy the things that we have in our community. Maybe we can start looking at some of the movie nights in the park and those kinds of things out later on in the summer as we prepare to get through the summer months and get back towards school starting up in the fall. All of these things are preparation for getting to that point, phase 2 and phase 3. And with the people that we have in the community of Slidell and the folks that we have, with their feeling of compassion and concern, their compassionate spirits in concern for each and every one of their friends and neighbors, working together, we'll get to where we need to be, and we'll have this COVID situation behind us. Again, I'd like to thank each and every one of you guys for doing what you do to make our city as good as it can be. I'd like to let you know that we greatly appreciate your following the CDC guidelines. I'd like to thank my teammates here for joining us today, and can't thank them enough for being on the front lines every day with your guys, with your teams, with your guys and gals, and being there for our community. Together, we're going to continue to provide you everything that you expect and take us on into the future with this. And hopefully, we'll come out better and stronger in the end. So, I don't have anything else for you today. We'll try to do this again, maybe before the end of the week, but for sure next week. And one of the things we're going to talk about next week is going to be hurricane preparedness. That's coming right behind us, June 1st. It's right on top of us. So we've got to make sure that we're doing the preparations and going to be ready for that.
Can I add one thing there?
Go ahead, Chris.
For any business that's not open, we encourage you to go to opensafely.la.gov, register your business with the State Fire Marshal's Office. Once you're registered and any of the guidelines change, you will be updated daily. It will also let you know with your business type what phase your business will be able to open. So it's not mandatory, but we're encouraging everyone to do that because you will be kept up to speed with every change that happens at the state level. And that's being put out by the governor, and the fire marshal has created that site, and it has been the best resource that we have to get our businesses back open with the right guidelines.
Thanks, Chris, and that's a good point. If you have any questions at all, if you reach out to any of the three of us or our offices, we can absolutely put you in touch with the right folks to get the answers you need if we don't have them. OpenSafely.la.gov is a very, very good tool to have in your hip pocket because you get the utmost latest information coming out of the state fire marshal's office to be able to help you manage and run your businesses within the guidelines that are coming from the governor's office. So with that, you have Team Slidell here at City Hall. We're signing off for today, Monday, May the 18th. Again, thank you for joining us today, and we'll see you again in the not too distant future. So long.